Today's lesson is part of yesterday's one. So remember Zephaniah? That's his name, Zephaniah. Uh, Today we're finishing the book of Zephaniah, and we're gonna end it with a promise that God gave to people of Israel, the people of Judah, actually. He said, I will purify the speech of my people, and they will call on the name of the Lord. I will remove all the proud and arrogant people from among you. On my holy mountain, there will be no pride or haughtiness. Those who are left will be the poor and the humble, and they will trust in the name of the Lord. The Lord is mighty to save. Mighty to Save is one of the songs that we sing. I like it. Let's sing it later. He takes great delight in you and will rejoice over you with singing. Did you know that God actually sings over us? He rejoices over us, those who are faithful and humble, and those who trust in him. He rejoices over us with singing. And this part, the final part of the book of Zephaniah, this is what God says to his people. I will gather you together and bring you home again and give you a good name, a name of distinction among all the peoples of the earth. We will praise you when I restore your fortunes before your very eyes. This is the end of book of Zephaniah, and we're gonna talk about it, actually, how about God's song of joy, how he sings a song of joy over us. Let's read about that part first. Any volunteers? Always volunteers. Gayana, can you read it to us, please? God's song of joy.
Okay. God's song of joy. The Lord allowed Zephaniah to see his plan for Jerusalem and Judah. Although the people would be taken to a distant country as slaves, eventually, when the time came for them to return, they would be humble and obey the Lord once again. Their hearts would rejoice because God's punishment had ended and they were free again. The Lord will be joyful too, Zephaniah told them. He will be delighted in his people and sing about them with great joy. He will gather those who long for the feasts and celebrations of the Lord and take away their shame. The time is coming, says the Lord. I will bring the scattered people home and honor them in every land where they were put to shame.
That's right. And we know that happened in 1948 when the nation of Israel was reinstated. Not it actually continues to happen throughout history again and again in a similar way. You probably noticed. The question for us is, does the Lord get excited about me too? Is it just about the people of Israel, or does he get excited about me too? Let's read about that. And a few volunteers that we have today are Hansana. Will you read that for us? Mr. Hansana Pereira, please. Yes.
Does the Lord get excited about me too? Sometimes I feel like such a bore. I don't do anything exciting and I don't have exciting things to talk about. I am not even excited about myself. How could anyone else get excited about me? If that is how you feel about yourself, there is great news for you. It doesn't matter how you feel about yourself on a Monday morning or when you look into the mirror. It doesn't matter if you are not a top performer in class or a star on a sports field. God gets so excited about you that he actually sings about you. You may think that God has so many people to look after and he doesn't have much time for you. Well, think about this. Does it really matter to you how many hairs are on your head? God thinks it does. And if the hairs on your head are important to him, think how much more important it is for him to be
To be there.
to be there when you are playing a match, performing on a stage, or writing a test. He loves to watch everything you do and he looks forward to the times of you talks to him.
To the times you talk to him, when in prayer, of course. Continue.
If God has enough time to count every hair on your head, Luke 12:7, it shows how interested he is in the smallest detail of your life.
Mhm.
To Psalm 139:1.
That's right. And Psalm 139:1-3 talks about how God actually is the one who created us. He designed us. Even when I was, it says, even when I was inside my mother's womb, he's the one who perfectly designed me. Every bone, every muscle, every tissue. Let's read the verse for today. Ready, go. For the Lord takes
For the Lord takes delight in his
crowns the
people.
humble
He
with
crowns the
salvation.
humble with salvation. Psalm chapter 149, verse 4.
149 verses 4.
That's right. Is it important to you how many hairs you have on your head? Oh, it's kind of important to me because I'm losing it, but it's not important to you. It's important to those who don't have much. But God says that he knows the exact number of hairs on your head. And he cares for us. That's the most important thing. He cares for us, and whenever we find a minute or two to spend with him, he rejoices and he sings over us. That's what he wants to spend time with us. You know, when you love somebody very much, you want to spend time with them. You want to invest your time into them. You want to leave everything and go and just be with that person that you love. The same thing for God. He cares for us and he wants to spend time with us. And he treasures those moments if we actually if we find a minute or two to spend with him. He rejoices in that. I'll stop the recording